It's a blessed good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a windy, windy day. Oh my God. Oh wow. It's so windy. We are in winter. So our winter runs from May to August. So we have a combination of wind and cold. Yeah, but it all comes with good tidings. So this is a period that trees are shedding off their dead leaves. So all the leaves are falling down in preparation for new blooms to start. I think by August we should have trees blooming and green and lush and nice, looking beautiful. But as at now, nature is trying to prepare the soil for the farmer come the rainy season by shedding off its dead leaves to feed the microbes in the soil and also to act as a soil cover in readiness for the hot season. So nature is so smart. Um, so today I just want to talk about feeding your microbes in your soil. So what are microbes? Microbes are small, invisible, elements that are found in every living thing. So that's you and me and every animal and every crop, every tree, every plant. So these are microbes that keep every living thing alive. Without microbes, we'll all be dead. So we have billions and billions and billions of microbes in our bodies, in our crops, in the soil, in the water, everywhere. Every living thing has microbes in it. So the microbes are like, kind of little soldiers that keep things alive. So once the microbes are gone, the living thing is dead. So now you know how important these microbes are. So now today I'm talking about soil microbes. So these soil microbes are essential elements that provide oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, and make them available to every living thing. So in this case, every plant, crop, and also in the soil. So how do you increase your soil microbes? How do you increase soil microbes in the soil? So it's very simple. We're going to break down the microbes into 5. So the microbes contain the bacteria, they contain the fungi, the algae, the protozoa, and the nematodes. So all these make up the soil microbes. So now, the dead leaves are food to the microbes. So microbes basically need 3 things to be alive. 3 things, just like humans: air, water, and food. So those are the 3 things that microbes need to survive, your soil microbes to survive. So number 1, let's take it like this. If your soil was a piece of pie, you're going to divide that pie into 3 parts. So that's 25% of air, 25% of water, and the other remaining half of the pie is food. So how do you provide air to the microbes in your soil? Very easy. Number 1, you avoid soil compaction by all means. So how do you avoid soil compaction? If you make garden beds, if you are, for example, a vegetable farmer and you have made garden beds, you make sure that you make beds that are small enough for you to manage them in your walking path. So you don't step in your garden beds. Because if you step in your garden beds, you compact the soil. And when you compact the soil, you are going to remove the airflow from the soil. So your soil will be compacted and hard, so it won't have air to breathe. So that's number 1. Number 2, you can provide the air in the soil by avoiding over-tilling or plowing, using a plow machine. Plowing would turn around the soil, and the soil will be loosened up and the airflow will be there, but it's short-lived. Immediately there's water or rain, the soil compacts and it becomes harder than it was before. So all the airflow, all the air particles will be squeezed and all the air the soil will be too tight to breathe, So now this is where the ants and the termites come in. They want to make holes and loosen up the soil to make that airflow available for the soil. But if you spray again, you're going to get rid of the ants and the termites that are providing airflow to your soil. Okay, so that's number one, you need the air. Number two, you need water. Just like every living thing, water is essential. Most soil microbes survive with water. So when your soil is over dry, the microbes don't have access to water. So how do you keep your soil? How do you give water to your microbes all year round, even when you are not able to water your soil? Very easy. Mulch your soil. Mulch your soil and keep it moist. Heavily mulch. I'm not talking about mulching like, just painting the soil, but heavy mulching will provide your soil with enough moisture that will keep your microbes alive. Okay, so number three, they need to eat. They need food. So what do they eat? What do microbes eat? So it's very simple. Microbes feed on dead things. So those are your dead leaves, your weeds, dead leaves, dead everything, anything that is dead, manure, compost, dead. So all the dead, you feed it to your soil. All the dead, feed it to your soil. So that's food for the microbes. As it decomposes, the microbes are eating, and your dead things are decomposing and being fed back to the soil, and your soil will be so rich, so yummy for the next crop that you're going to put in. So this is what we are doing. We are trying to feed the microbes with dead leaves. So these are the dead leaves that we are putting in our fields and feeding the microbes and making sure our microbes are happy and smiling. Wonderful. So also you can see the birds, the guinea fowls, they also help, to scratch the ground, and also provide that airflow that is needed in the compost. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Keep your microbes alive. Keep your soil microbes alive. Feed them, give them water by mulching, and give them air. Stay away from plows. Stay away from plows. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah, so we're just trying to also plant some palm trees on our boundary. So there's a place that we've dug, and we're trying to put in some palms. Also, we're going to harvest this grass. Yeah, we're slashing this grass and putting it as a mulch in our garden for the next crop. So we're trying to regenerate this piece of land and put in some trees and regenerate the new coming trees, and also trying to add some beauty by planting some palm trees in this space. So we have dug like holes, checking the soil if it's healthy. Of course it's not. So we're going to use the topsoil. You can see the color difference there. There's a light brown soil which is not healthy, and there's a topsoil which is dark brown. So that's the soil that we're going to use to bury our palm trees, and also add some compost in there just to feed it and make those microbes moving and enjoying life there. So that's our compost that we're going to use to plant. It's been sitting for 1 year. Yeah, so this compost has been there for a year, so it's ready to be used. So we're going to use this to bury the palms. So apart from just planting indigenous trees and regenerating indigenous trees and planting in-food trees and all that stuff, I also like to see some beautiful things, and provide like a tropical feel to the farm. So palms does that for me. Palms, we have like 10 varieties of different palm trees. So it just does that to me, some tropical vibe. Yeah. So let's plant some trees, let's regenerate some trees, and let's pick those leaves and throw them in the garden where we need them. So mind you, I only rake leaves where I don't need them. Where I don't need them. That's usually around the house. That's all. Everywhere else we leave the leaves right there, but around the house, because there are trees there, so I rake the leaves. And also it's because I want to plant a lawn around the house, so I don't want any leaves, I don't want any dead leaves around the house. I don't want any snakes hiding under the dry leaves around the house, so I remove them and take them where I need them, which is in the garden. Okay, so where I'm not using the land, I leave the leaves right there. So we've planted some palm trees. These are king palms. Yeah, very slow growing palms, but I'm very patient. So we have put in some palms. There's Manji. She's so helpful. So I'm hoping to turn this place into a kids playing area, so tropical, a little pool, some palms around, and provide that tropical vibe for the kids to play, just like a small park for them. So this is when I'm starting to work on this place, and I hope to finish it soon. But panono tulea tulesela. So we're just trying to water after the planting. We water the palms. So these are from my seedling stock. Yeah. So it's a lot of work, but bit by bit, stage by stage, we keep changing the place as we go. Yeah, I've had this Italian cypress for 6 years. Like I had about 20 Italian cypress when I planted this before we moved to the farm. So only one survived when we moved to the farm. Only one out of 20. Only one survived, and I thank God for it. I thank God that one survived. So the plants are all watered, and now we need to nurture them to growth.
Tell of your goodness, every chapter of my story. Show how you led me, Lord. I'm the handwriting of mercy by the finger of the Lord. This is the finger of the Lord. You've been right here beside me, through the fire, through the rain. I didn't burn, I didn't drown, 'cause you were right by my side. I am a living testimony of the goodness of the Lord. Hey, this is the doing of the Lord. What shall I render? Indeed, what shall I render? What shall I render to you? What shall I render? Say, yeah, I'm in a woman found. Ekenyo, enyenya mine hume mwapwa. Ay, 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 ay. Enyenya mine wamafa. Enyenya mine oyemadum. This is the doing of the Lord. What shall I render? Indeed, what shall I render? What shall I render to you? What shall I render? Yamine wama fa, ekenyo,